in very profound ways, and outside of some of those formal boundaries as well.
I don't want to be corrupting the youth. So
No, we want to be
not
corrupting
sure
the
I
youth.
tell the truth, but
Tell the truth.
the truth is I have absolutely no professional credentials. Literally, which is why I'm teaching at MIT. That's absolutely true. They didn't care. It's a science-based university. They didn't care if you had a guild card or something or other. So, well, you saw a little of it there, but I hated high school. It was the academic high school in the city, the one that all the kids went to who were going to go to college. So teachers didn't really have to work very hard because we were going to pass the exams anyway, and I couldn't stand it. And this is 1945. There were no questions about going to some college or somewhere else. You lived at home, you worked, you went to the local college, period. Local college happened to be the University of Pennsylvania. I, as a high school student, looked through the catalog, looked really exciting, all these great courses in all sorts of different fields. I was really looking forward to getting out and going to college. After my first year of college, each course I took in every field was so boring that I didn't even go to the classes. I mean, the way I was quite interested in chemistry, but the way I passed the chemistry course was I had a friend, a young woman about my age, who took extremely meticulous notes in red and blue and so on. And she lent me her notes, so I didn't have to go to class and pass the exams. You had to go to, there was a lab, and I knew, if I tried to carry out a lab experiment, it's not going to work. But there was a lab manual, and it was obvious what the answers had to be. So I just filled in the answers, and I never even went to the lab. And then I had my comeuppance when I had to apply the next semester, because I was charged $17, which was a lot of money in those days, for lab breakage. And I couldn't tell them, look, I never went to the lab. But it sort of went on like that. I never really had a graduate degree. By the time I started mainly taking a scattering of graduate courses without much background in them. I then was lucky enough to get a 4-year fellowship, graduate fellowship, just did my own work, and essentially I never had much of a formal education. It was one of the greatest educational experiences I ever had in those 4 years was at Harvard. It was to have a desk in the stacks. In those days, the stacks were open, not anymore. A graduate student had a little desk in the stacks, and you had the whole of Widener Library, this amazing library there. You can kind of walk around and pick things out from all kind of places, things you never heard of, and pursue them. That was a fantastic experience. I think it's a great way to get an education. And then I was, again, very lucky. I got to MIT, which is a research institution. They didn't care about credentials. You could work on what you wanted to, and it turned out very well. But it's just a series of accidents. I think very few people are lucky enough to have an experience like that. So I'm not suggesting that you don't go to college and do your work and get your degree.